Morning, guys. So today we're going to be covering Act 2, Scene 2 of Julius Caesar, and I'm going to be filming a couple of these things back to back because I've got some stuff I got to get taken care of later this week. So if I look the same and my dog has not moved, that is why I'm filming a couple of these in a row. All right, I've got Maggie asleep on the floor. If you can hear her snoring in the back, I'm sorry. And then I've got my coffee. I've got our questions pulled up, as you can see. So let's kind of just jump into it, all right? So as always, I am going to set that timer for just 20 minutes. That's all I'm asking from you today is 20 minutes of your time. And I'm actually going to set it for exactly 20 minutes today because I don't even think we're going to take that long. Come on, okay. What are you doing? Okay, 21 minutes. Sorry, my watch is not cooperating today. All right. So when we last left Caesar, well, when we last left Brutus, Brutus was being, worked into this plot to kill his friend. And on the other side of today, we're actually going to see the start of Caesar and his kind of maneuvering towards the capital that day. Okay, so Brutus and the group are going to wait for him at the capital and then kill him. And Caesar is getting ready to head to the capital, and we get a little peek into his own life. All right. And so Caesar is Julius Caesar, thunder and lightning. Once again, we're still dealing with some weather here where it's very ominous, very dark. Enter Julius Caesar in his nightgown. Okay. Oh, great. Thank you. All right. So, oh, hold on one second. Let me turn on one thing before we get started. Let's see. And there we go. All right. So let's get back into it. So Caesar says, "Nor heaven nor earth have been at peace tonight," okay, because the sky is full of rage. "Thrice Calpurnia in her sleep has cried out, 'Help, ho, they murder Caesar. Who is within?'" And Caesar's basically saying he's been woken up 3 times by Calpurnia yelling that they're murdering her husband. And so a servant enters, and the servant says, "My lord, Caesar, go bid the priest to present sacrifice and bring me their opinions of success." Back in this time period, there was multiple ways to predict your future. I always think of an episode or a movie called Stardust, where like a bunch of witches like slice open a crocodile and then read its organs. I imagine it's something similar to that here. And the servant says, "I will, my lord," and he exits. So Caesar is sending somebody to read the fortune for the day. He's like, "I'm not sure if I believe in any of this." He's like, "So let's see." All right. So Calpurnia leaves, or Calpurnia enters. And Calpurnia says, "What mean you, my lord? Think you walk forth, you shall not stir out of the house today." Calpurnia is not having it. She's like, "You are not leaving this house today." And Caesar's like, "No, I'm definitely leaving." He's like, "Caesar shall forth. The things that threatened me never looked so but on my back. When they shall see the face of Caesar, they are banished." He's like, "Anything that wishes me ill better get gone because it should be afraid of me." And then Calpurnia says, "Caesar, I never stood on ceremonies, yet now they fright me. There is one within, besides the things that we have heard and seen, who recounts most horrid sights seen by the watch. A lioness hath whelped in the streets, the graves have yawned and yielded up their dead. Fierce fiery warriors fought upon the clouds in ranks and squadrons and right form of war, which drizzled blood upon the Capitol. The noise of battle hurtled in the air. Horses did neigh, and dying men did groan." Okay, so she's explaining all these things that people have seen or have claimed to have seen. So, like, if we look here a little bit more, a lioness gave birth in the streets. The graves are like spitting out the dead that are within them. Fierce fiery warriors fought upon clouds, which drizzled the blood upon the Capitol. So maybe it might be raining blood in Rome. And she even says, "Ghosts did shriek and squeal about the streets." So she's seen ghosts too. "Oh, Caesar, these things are beyond me, and I do fear them." She is incredibly afraid for him. She's like, "I'm having these really terrible visions. I really don't want you to leave. I think something bad's going to happen if you leave." And Caesar says, "What can be avoided? Whose end is purposed by the mighty gods? Yet Caesar shall go forth, for these predictions are to the world in general as to Caesar." He's like, "These aren't anything to me." He's like, "No, no, no, you're wrong. I'm leaving. These are all for the world. They're not just for me." And then Calpurnia says, "When beggars die, there are no comets seen. The heavens themselves blaze forth the death of the princes." Caesar says, "Cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste death but once. Of all the wonders I have yet heard, it seems to me most strange that men should fear, seeing that death, a necessary end, will come to it when it will come." Right? So Caesar's like, all right, He's like, Calpurnia, I get what you mean. If I'm meant to die today, I'm meant to die today. He's like, I don't really care. Death is natural. It comes to all men. And so a servant comes back in and he says, and he asks him, what say the augurers? An augurer is a fortune teller. And the servant says, they would not have you stir forth today. So even the fortune tellers are telling Caesar, stay home. Okay, stay home. They opened up an animal and they could not find a heart within the beast. They're like, that isn't a good sign. And Caesar says, the gods do this in shame of cowardice. Caesar should be a beast without a heart. If he should stay at home for fear, he's like, I'm not a scaredy cat. I'm leaving. No. No, Caesar shall not. Danger knows full well that Caesar is more dangerous than he, who are two lions littered in one day, and I, the elder, am more terrible. Caesar shall go forth. Okay, so Caesar really doesn't want to stay home today. I mean, he's going to be crowned king of Rome, so, like, I get it. I wouldn't want to stay home either. I was going to be crowned king of Rome. Calpurnia says, alas, my lord, your wisdom is consumed in confidence. Do not go forth today. Call it my fear that keeps you in the house, not your own. We'll send for Antony in the Senate, and he shall say you are not well today. Let me, upon my knee, prevail this. Okay, so I mean, Calpurnia is getting really desperate here. She's like, please, we'll say that you're sick. I beg you. She's even on her knees pleading with him, for the love of God, do not leave this house. And Caesar's like, Mark Antony shall say I am not well, and for thy humor I will stay home. So finally Caesar's like, you know what? If it really means that much to you, I'll stay home. All right? He lifts her up. So enter Decius. Now Decius is determined to get Brutus to the capital no matter what today. Remember, that was the task he gave himself in terms of what he was going to accomplish for the conspiracy today. All right, so Decius, and Caesar's like, all right, I'll send my message with him. He's like, here's Decius Brutus, he shall tell them so. And Decius says, Caesar, all hail, good morrow, worthy Caesar. I come to fetch you to the Senate house. He's like, I'm here to bring you to the Senate house today. And Caesar says, and you are to come in a very happy time, and you bear my greeting to the senators, and tell them I will not come today. Cannot is false, and I dare not falser. He's like, I will not come today. Tell them so, Decius. He's like, I don't want to lie, so I'm going to tell them that I'm just not going to be there today. And he's like, I don't want to say that I can't go because I could, and I don't say that I don't want to because I do. I just can't. All right? And Calpurnia's like, say he's sick. And Caesar's like, no, Calpurnia. Shall Caesar send a lie? Have I in conquest stretched mine arm so far to be afraid to tell graybeards the truth? Decius, go tell them Brutus that Caesar will not come. And then Decius responds, he says, most mighty Caesar, let me know some cause, lest I be laughed at for when I tell them so. So he's like, okay, I get it. I get you're staying home, but could you, like, I don't know, tell me why? And Caesar's like, the cause is in my will. He's like, I'm choosing to stay home. I will not come. That is enough to satisfy the Senate. And for your private satisfaction is because I love you. I will let you know. Calpurnia, here my wife, stays me at home. Okay, he's like, Calpurnia wants me to stay home. She dreamt tonight that she saw my statue, which like a fountain with 100 spouts did run pure blood, and many lusty Romans came smiling and did bathe their hands in it. And these did apply for her warnings and portents the evil is imminent, and on her knee hath begged that I stay home today. All right, so Calpurnia had a really awful dream. All right, she had this dream that Caesar's statue was going to have fountains of blood spraying from it, and that the people of Rome are going to be bathing in it. Okay, and to her, that's a really bad sign. All right, I get that. Like, Calpurnia, I get what you're saying. That is really, like, nerve-wracking, the idea that your husband might be spraying blood on the citizens of Rome. All right? And so Decius says, this dream is all misinterpreted. That was a vision, fair and fortunate. Your statue spouting blood, smiling Romans bathed, signifies that you from you great Rome shall suck reviving blood, and the great men shall press for tinctures, stains, relics, and cognizance. This Calpurnia's dream is signified. So Decius totally takes the bad omens that exist within this dream and spins them on their head. He's like, okay, your wife dreamt that you were spouting blood. He's like, that's not true. He's like, what it means really is that you're going to your blood will bathe Rome in like prosperity and goodness and revive them. And Caesar's like, oh, I didn't think of it that way. He's like, in this way you have expounded upon it. And Decius says, I have, when you have heard what I can say, and know it now, the Senate have concluded to give you this day today a crown, mighty Caesar. If you shall send them word that you will not come, their minds may change. Besides, it were a mock-up to be rendered for someone to say, break the Senate till another time, when Caesar's wife should be met with better dreams. If Caesar hide himself, shall they not whisper, lo, Caesar is afraid? Pardon, Caesar, for my dear love to your proceeding bids me tell you this. And to my reason, my love is liable. Okay, so Decius is really interesting here. He actually takes a moment to talk about how, you know, the people of Rome, the Senate, might change their minds about making him king if he chooses not to come today. Well, if he's weak and listens to his wife, then maybe we don't want him to be king. And he's like, that's gonna look really bad. He's like, if you want to be king, you should really get to the Senate today. And Caesar's like, how foolish your dreams see now, Calpurnia. I am ashamed that I did yield to them. Give me my robe, for I will go. And Caesar's like, awesome. I wanted to be king. This guy totally proved my wife's dreams wrong. So you know what we're gonna do? I'm going. Calpurnia, I'm done with you. Not really though. He's not really done with her. Like they're still married. And then enter Brutus, Ligarius, Metellus, Casca, Trebonius, Cinna, and Publius. Great names. And look, where Publius has come to fetch me. Publius says, "Good morrow, Caesar." And Caesar says, "Welcome, Publius. What, Brutus, are you stirred so early? Good morrow, Casca, Caius Ligarius. Caesar was ne'er so much your enemy as the same ague which hath made you lean. What is it to clock? Caesar, 'tis struck an 8. I thank you for your pains and your courtesy." So they're just greeting each other, you know, they're getting ready to meet up and get Caesar to the capital. Enter Antony. "See, Antony, that revels long o' nights is notwithstanding. Good morrow, Antony." Antony says, "So to you, most noble Caesar." And Caesar says to servant, "Bid them prepare within. I am blamed to thus be waited." Servant asks, "Now Cinna, now Metellus, what Trebonius? I have an hour's talk in store for you. Remember that you call me today. Be near that I may remember you." He's like, we know I'm going to be king, so if you want favors from the king, like, stick by me. And so Caesar, and Trebonius says, "Caesar, I will," aside, "and so near will I be that your best friends shall wish I had been further." He's all like, it's like a little bit of a sly, like, you know, I'm going to be so close to you because I'm going to stab you, that your friends will actually wish I had been further away. And Caesar says, "Good friends, go in and taste some wine with me, and we like friends will straightway together." Then Brutus says aside, "That every like is not the same, O Caesar. The heart of Brutus earns to think upon." He's like, you know, we're going to make this decision today, right? All right, and that ends scene 2, my friends. So make sure that you get all your questions answered over here. I covered each question, and most of them were marked. So don't be afraid to make sure you get those done and get those typed in. I'm going to start doing 3 and 4 as well, and then we'll be done with Act 2, and we'll come back to this next week.